You know that feeling when you finally find a cozy game you love, and then realize you have to play it alone? Yeah, that used to be me. So I went looking for farming and life sim games I could actually share with friends, without the stress, the grind, or things breaking halfway through. So I put together a list of the ones that feel easy to get into, cozy to play, and genuinely fun to share. Some of these might surprise you. Let's start with Roots of Pacha, a cozy farming and life sim set in a prehistoric world where instead of inheriting a farm, you're helping build a whole community from the ground up. You'll farm, fish, gather, and explore caves. But what makes it special is that progress comes from sharing ideas with your clan, like discovering new tools or ways to grow food together. I love that there's a strong focus on culture and community, and it really shines in co-op. Everyone contributes to the same village, shares resources, and can focus on what they enjoy, like farming, fishing, or exploring, without feeling left behind. It's smooth, collaborative, and feels like you're actually building something together rather than just playing side by side. This is a great pick if you enjoy cozy games like farming sims, but want something more relaxed, community-focused, and easy to get into. Especially if you're playing with friends or family and just want a calm, shared experience without pressure. Next is Sun Haven. The game is about starting fresh in a fantasy world and slowly building your life, farming, exploring, fighting monsters, and getting to know a huge cast of characters. Co-op is where Sun Haven becomes really interesting, especially if you're playing with friends who enjoy different things. Everyone can focus on their own strengths, one person farming, another mining, someone else handling combat, and it all contributes to the same world. There are even some shared benefits, like certain global skills that help everyone on the server. However, co-op isn't fully a shared story. Each player keeps their own progress for quests, relationships, and story choices. There are some bugs, performance issues in certain areas, and systems that aren't always explained clearly. This is best for players who enjoy experimenting, love fantasy settings, and want a co-op game where everyone can play differently without stepping on each other's progress. Then we have Coral Island, a cozy farming and life sim where you leave city life behind and start fresh on a tropical island. You'll grow crops, raise animals, explore caves, and even dive underwater to help restore the coral reefs, while slowly getting to know a large, diverse community and building your own story. The characters also feel more varied and personal, which makes relationships and daily life feel a bit more meaningful. In co-op, it's very collaborative. You and your friends share the farm and can split tasks however you like one farming, one mining, one exploring, while still having your own spaces, relationships, and progression. It feels like working together but still having your own journey, which is a nice balance. That said, it's worth knowing the game still has some bugs and unfinished parts, and updates are ongoing. This is best for players who don't mind a few rough edges and just want a cozy, content-rich game to slowly explore, especially if you enjoy community-driven stories and playing with friends. Next is Ever After Falls, a cozy farming and life sim with a slightly quirky twist. You wake up in a peaceful town only to learn your old life might not have been real. From there, it's about rebuilding your farm, helping your animal neighbors, and slowly settling into a place that feels familiar, even if you don't fully remember why. You can farm, fish, and collect like usual, but you also get helpful drones and even a pet that can assist with tasks or combat. There's no stamina system, so you're free to play at your own pace. And co-op is one of the stronger parts of the game. You and your partner share quests, money and progress, and many moments, especially boss fights, are designed to be done together. It feels very collaborative, where you can split roles and just enjoy the experience side by side. This is a great pick if you want a cozy game that's easy to get into, has a bit of action, and works really well in couch co-op. Just keep in mind it's more about the relaxing loop than deep storytelling, so it's best for players who want something light, charming, and low pressure to unwind with. Then we have Traveler's Rest, which is a cozy tavern sim where instead of just farming, you're running your own tavern, including cooking meals, brewing drinks, decorating your space, and taking care of customers day by day. You can still farm, fish, and gather ingredients, but everything feeds back into building your tavern and creating a place that feels like yours. Just keep in mind it's still in early access, so some systems can feel a bit unfinished or change over time. In co-op, it's really fun in a shared task kind of way. You and your friends can split roles, like one cooking, one farming, one managing the tavern, which makes everything feel smoother and more collaborative. It's not perfect yet though, since there can be small bugs, and the host usually handles important interactions, but overall, it's a nice way to play together. This is a great pick if you enjoy cozy sims, but want something a little more hands-on with managing and creating. Especially if you like the idea of running a tavern with friends and don't mind a work-in-progress experience. Next is My Time at Sandrock, a life sim where you and your friends work together as builders in a desert town, gathering resources, crafting machines, and slowly turning a struggling place into something better. In co-op, it feels more like a shared sandbox than a story game. You're building the town together, taking on commissions, exploring ruins, fighting enemies, and unlocking new areas as a group. You can split roles naturally, like one person mining, another crafting, and someone else handling farming or quests, which makes progress feel smoother and more collaborative. What's important to know is that co-op doesn't include the full story from single player. It focuses more on gameplay and progression. But if you enjoy working toward shared goals and building something together, it really shines there. This is a great pick if you want a cozy game with more structure and teamwork, and you enjoy longer sessions with friends. Next, if you're looking for something cozy but a little weird in a fun way, Cult of the Lamb is one of those games that mixes management with a bit of chaotic action. You play as a small lamb brought back to life by a mysterious being, and your goal is to build a cult in return. Gather followers, take care of them, and slowly grow your little community while uncovering a darker story behind it all. You'll be farming resources, cooking meals, cleaning up, and keeping your followers happy, but also making strange moral choices like performing rituals or sacrifices. Co-op adds a really fun layer, especially if you like playing side by side. One player controls the lamb, and the other plays as a goat, and you both share the same responsibilities. During dungeon runs, it feels like proper teamwork. You can coordinate attacks, share builds, and support each other in fights. Back at base, both players can manage the cult almost equally, cooking, building, giving sermons. If you like games where you can switch between relaxing tasks and more intense gameplay, this gives you both. Then we have Spiritfarer, a cozy life sim where you play as Stella, someone who helps spirits pass on. Your days are spent slowly building a boat, growing food, cooking meals, and taking care of the characters who travel with you. The game is about learning how to let go while still appreciating the small, everyday moments. In co-op, one player controls Stella, while the other plays as her cat, Daffodil. You can do almost everything together: farm, cook, gather, but only one player handles conversations and story progress. It's more of a shared, supportive experience than equal storytelling, but it still feels meaningful, especially if you like playing side by side. This is a great pick if you enjoy cozy games with heart, don't mind a slower pace, and are open to emotional stories. It's especially for players who want something calm and reflective, but still interactive enough to keep you engaged. Then we have Mirthwood, a mix of farming sim and RPG set in a medieval fantasy world where you're starting over after leaving a war behind. You can build a farm, raise animals, trade goods, explore different regions, and even fight enemies. The world has random events and changing conditions, which makes it feel a bit more alive and unpredictable compared to typical cozy Sims. In co-op, you can play together on the same screen and share the world, but it's still a bit rough right now. There are some limitations, like staying on one screen and fewer interactions for the second player, which can make it feel less balanced. It works best if you're okay with a more casual, side-by-side experience rather than full freedom. This is a good pick if you want a farming sim with a bit more challenge and RPG depth, and you like the idea of carving your own path in a living world. Just keep in mind it still needs polish, so it's better for players who don't mind a few rough edges and want something a little different from the usual cozy formula. And hey, if you enjoy discovering games like these before you spend your time and money on them, consider subscribing. I share more farming sims, life sims, and story-rich games that are worth your time, so you can go in feeling informed, not overwhelmed. Moving on, if you've heard people talk about cozy farming games, chances are Stardew Valley comes up a lot, and for good reason. You start by leaving your old life behind and inheriting a messy farm in a quiet town. From there, it's really about rebuilding at your own pace. Planting crops, raising animals, exploring mines, and slowly becoming part of a small community that's trying to find its footing again. Co-op in Stardew lets you play with friends on the same farm, sharing space, tasks, and progress. It feels like a shared routine. One person might handle crops, another goes mining, someone else fishes or builds. It's very flexible, and you can even choose whether to share money or keep it separate. The catch is that time doesn't pause in co-op, so days feel faster and a bit more hectic. This game is best for players who enjoy slow burn progression and having control over their own pace. If you like farming sims, life sims, or even just games where you can multitask and set your own goals, this is a fun pick. Next is Palia. It's about starting a new life in a peaceful fantasy world where you farm, decorate your home, build relationships, and slowly uncover the mystery of ancient humans. The experience feels more like parallel play with bonuses. You and your friends each have your own home plot, your own farm, and your own progress. You don't share money, quests, or a single farm like in some other life sims. But you can do a lot of activities together, like hunting, fishing, bug catching, mining, cooking, and gathering. And being in a group gives small boosts or makes things easier, especially for tougher creatures or rare resources. You can also visit each other's homes and even help decorate if permissions are enabled, which adds a nice social layer. And while the world is technically multiplayer, players are often doing their own thing in the same space rather than constantly interacting. Think of it more like a cozy MMO where your friends are nearby, not a tightly connected co-op sim. This is best for players who enjoy slow-paced games, love decorating and collecting, and want a gentle co-op experience where you can just exist together. If you and your friends are okay with doing your own thing while chatting and occasionally teaming up, Palia can be that game. Then we have Farm Together 2, a simple, cozy farming sim where you slowly build your farm over time, planting crops, raising animals, decorating your land, and expanding at your own pace. There's no big story pushing you forward. It's more about creating your own routine and watching your farm grow little by little. Crops grow in real time, even when you're offline, so it's the kind of game you check in on rather than play non-stop. It's easy to understand, doesn't overwhelm you with systems, and focuses more on steady progress and customization than challenge. In co-op, it's very open and flexible. You can invite friends or even strangers to help on your farm, and everyone can just jump in and do their own thing, like planting, harvesting, or decorating. This is a great pick if you want a low-stress farming game you can play in short sessions, especially if you enjoy decorating and slow progression, but maybe not ideal if you want fast-paced gameplay or constant interaction. And if you're already thinking ahead, like really ahead, I've got another video you'll want to check out right after this. It's all about upcoming cozy farming and life sim games that aren't even out yet, but already feel like they're going to take over your life the second they drop. The kind you add to your wish list and then quietly think about for months. So if you love discovering games early and planning your future cozy phases, just click into that video next. I'll meet you there.